Okay, in today's video, we're gonna go ahead and walk you through live how to build a gem, a Google gem that's gonna basically answer all the questions that you have when you're on a job application. So, what's the problem that we're trying to solve right now? So, we're gonna go back to our board here. We scraped up a bunch of hiring referrals for product manager roles. But let's just go ahead and take this position, for example, Snowflake, since I'm a shareholder and it's doing horrible right now. We have the hiring manager basically right here. On top of that, we also have the actual hiring post right here. Okay. And then we can go ahead and click on it. And you see basically there's this position here and it'll go directly to the company page. Now, one of the main reasons why people's LinkedIn messages are so bad is because they're not drafting up a message that's resonating anything with the role at all. And you can tell actually what the hiring team actually cares about if you go to apply now and you take a look at all of the different questions that they're asking you for this job. I mean, standard email, resume, phone number, location. But they'll go ahead and actually ask you things like, hey, for Snowflake to anticipate possible da-da-da-da-da, yes or no. And then sometimes it's going to go ahead and get very detailed as to what is it that they need you to go ahead and do. So we decided, let's just solve this problem with AI. So how are we going to go ahead and do that? I'm going to go pop back over to Gemini, and I'm going to ask Gemini this. And as always, we're going to go ahead and use GenSpark for voice prompting. So for starters is, I want to build a Google gem and I need your help to get the name, the description, the goals, as well as the instructions for this gem. The purpose of this gem is to help me answer questions on a job application for product manager roles. I'm assuming that for this gem to be effective, I need to upload my resume. I probably need to attach my LinkedIn profile. Here's what I need the gem to do. I need the gem to answer any possible questions that may arise and will arise, and also be able to pull the data from my LinkedIn profile and from my resume to be able to give a very above average standout response that's going to help differentiate me from the competition amongst a sea of product managers. And I needed it to be done quickly. Ideally, what I would like to do is just pop in any single time that I'm applying for a job. What I would like to do is just pop in the job description, including the question that they're asking me, and you can immediately pull the information from my LinkedIn and my resume to just answer that question. For example, a sample question could be, for this role, you'll be eligible for a base salary plus bonus. What are your base salary expectations? And what are your expectations as it relates to total compensation? If you are a Fidelity employee, please list NA. If you are external to Fidelity, please list your base salary and total compensation expectations. My intentions is to have this gem articulate the best response possible to solicit the first round product manager interview and to have me deem as the lowest risk. Please also let me know if I missed anything, but ultimately what I'm trying to accomplish is the following. I'd like to go ahead and enter in the question as well as the company name. You can go ahead and pull the information from my resume and give me a response immediately. with the intention of converting this application into a product manager interview and help me stand out amongst the CA candidates. Can you help me basically create the prompt that will help me prompt this gem? I need you to provide me with the gem name, the gem description, as well as the gem instructions, and any other information that I would need to go ahead and attach, which I'm assuming is going to be a link to my LinkedIn profile and my resume. And I'm going to hit go. Boom. Okay, done, and done. So here's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. Now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to go ahead and pop in a name here. So it's going to be PM Interview Architect. In some areas, you just got to go ahead and use a little bit of common sense. So I'm just going to say Product Manager, Interview Architect. The name does matter, champs. You guys probably don't think it does, but it does. Okay, here is the description. So I'm going to go ahead and add the description here. And then on top of that, I am going to go ahead and actually add the resume separately. As a career coach, right now, I'm not looking for a job, but I'm going to go ahead and instruct other people to go ahead and add that in there. So this is going to be able to save people some time, right? And then here are the instructions. Copy and paste this into your box of gems, into the instruction box of your gem. And I'm going to add this. And I'm going to go ahead and add into the instructions. Now, down here, I will go ahead underneath knowledge base. I will go ahead and actually add the resume or instruct the people that are looking for a job to add that resume. Having said that, though, what you might have missed, to truly differentiate your CPMs, the values document. Most big companies like Fidelity have specific leaders. So if you upload the text file, blah, 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 the salary strategy. Low risk means not pricing yourself out, but it's also not sounding cheap. So I will ensure that the gem suggests a range. Okay. And then for product managers, you need to be persuasive yet humble. I programmed the instructions to avoid over-the-top AI hype and instead use measure data-driven confidence. So once you've built it, all you got to do is add the company name. All you got to do is add the company description, and then all you got to go ahead and do is just paste the question, the specific question that's being asked, and that's all we need. And then I'm just going to go ahead and actually save this bad boy. Okay, and then so if I was to go out there and actually ask this question right now, start chat. Okay, so now this is going to be the response, and you can just pop that response in, right? So another one is precisely is empowering every employee with AI to unlock new ways of working and learning. The question is to help us understand the extent of your knowledge and the use of AI tools. Please select one of the below that best describes you. Hang on, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to add this one in here. And then boom, it's just going to have like an AI response right here, right? Tell us about a product that you've worked on most relevant to Origin Social. Okay. So you just take this and you just add that in here. And then you can take this product name, for example. Now, this is actually where you have to utilize some common sense. The most relevant product I've led is AI-driven career mentor. You know, don't just copy and paste it. Freaking read it before you actually go out there and fire it out. Have you influenced the way a product talks to its users before? So, Ryan, we got enough questions. Give me a second here. So you're gonna go out there and pop it in here. The response. And then you basically have that. But you gotta read it before you go ahead and actually fire it off. But I would say this is actually very, very, very good. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna ask it one more thing, right? I wanna update update the instructions, for these responses to be immediately ready to be copied and pasted into the response box. Since candidates right now have to apply to so many product manager jobs just to get a first round phone screen, I really cannot risk having any customization in these responses at all. So see here. Boom, add a note. So I'm gonna go back over to my gem and update. I'm gonna edit my gem here. Okay. And I'm gonna add this to the bottom. And I want, boom, done. We're gonna take this, and we're gonna go out there and give out an answer. I integrate, blah 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 blah. Start chat. And then now you know where it says the response, right? You just take that response and then you just pop it in. Why it works should not be added in here. Okay? So that's basically it. That's how you would use Google Gemini to go out there and just give yourself a little bit more leverage on the job hunt. And that's all you really need. So this is actually a bonus question here. So have you ever worked at a startup with less than 20 people? You take that question, and then boom, you go to the response. And then you take that, and then you just take the response. It's always the response here, all the way up until this line where it says why it works. You don't want to add why it works into the response, right? So use this. All right, champs. So if you have not already, please go ahead and schedule a product manager consultation with us for our upcoming agentic and growth product management cohort that's starting on April 6th. Talk to you very, very soon.